So for you guys who are new to the channel, my name is Cool Fred. Welcome to Cool Fred's Garage. So this is a series of videos of me basically doing some stuff in the rear end of the car, some suspension work. I had to replace the rear pinion seal and stuff like that. And now what I'm doing, I'm moving on to just get the diff cover installed. So right now I just got the factory style cover on the car. And I'm getting this one right here cleaned up. I had this one installed, so I've had this maybe for about 2.5 to 3 years. So what I'm gonna do, I've got it cleaned up. So I've got it cleaned up. Got the screws cleaned up and everything like that. But in my process of taking this out, I started getting some cracking on the load studs. Maybe because I didn't have the jam nuts backed all the way off or whatever. I'm not sure, or maybe I should have loosened it up, but now they're loose. So they're pretty much they're loose now. So I can kind of move and get them out. But I got some new load studs. That's what they call these, load studs. So I'm gonna be putting these new load studs in there. I'm gonna do that now, as a matter of fact, because I gotta put them in. I gotta get these out and put them in. And what you do, you just kind of back them off so they're not touching, and then you slowly get pressure on them. Then you torque them down to like 10 foot-pounds, and then you put a little silicone around your jam nut. So I also got a new rear diff gasket. So this right here, this housing right here is for a 10-bolt rear end, by the way. So I had to kind of dig around and find the instructions to make sure I'm getting this on right. So I forgot the exact part number to this one, but if I come across the part number, I'll put it in. All right, so the good thing about this cover right here is it comes with a set of ARP bolts to put it on to the housing. And when you buy it new, it also comes with a gasket, but since I'm replacing it, I'm gonna be installing a new gasket. Some people prefer to install this with some gasket maker. So this right here is a specialized formula for the rear diff. This is gear oil. This is actually gear oil silicone, or RTV. So some people prefer to use that, but in my case, I'm gonna go ahead and, it's my son over there making all that noise. So in my case, I'm gonna go ahead and use the gasket because I've had pretty good luck with the gasket, and as long as I get it torqued down, I haven't had any experience with any leaks. I may put a little bit of this around the like these right here. They just kind of seal around the threads. So the drain plug and the fill plug. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing ready to go in. All right, so this right here is the gasket that I'm gonna be using. That's from Yukon Gear, and these are the old load studs that I just pulled out. So I'm not sure if you guys can see what, it's only one of them that started cracking, but I mean it's probably still usable because it's not cracked all the way through, but it does have little cracks at the tip. I just didn't want there to be an issue where like it get rounded off and I couldn't adjust them right, so I ordered some new ones. So those are the ones those are the replacement ones, or the replacement parts rather, for this cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to get this thing installed. All right, so the purpose of one of these style differential covers to begin with the load studs, it's basically like a supporting cover. So what it does is it uses these load studs to put just a little bit of pressure on the center of the bearing caps They kind of keep them from kind of cracking under stress, or you know, basically just keeping an even load on them. Just like basically like you kind of pushing, maybe like you just pushing the car. You just putting gentle pressure. So let's say, you know, you got two hands on there, or maybe you and another person. So y'all are just gently pushing the car, just slightly, just to keep a little bit of pressure on it to keep it, you know, basically moving or along. So basically this just puts a little bit of gentle pressure, you know what I'm saying, or even pressure on it, just to kind of keep it just better supported. Because, you know, to me the GM 8.5 rear differential is plenty strong. Of course, up to a certain horsepower level, but once you surpass like a certain horsepower, or if you're doing a lot of towing and stuff like that, then you'll need to move up to a Ford 9-inch rear end, which has a bigger ring and pinion, and you can, you know, get bigger gears and axles and things like that. But this right here, this basically right here just kind of is a way to just improve the reliability. If you got a 10-bolt, even if you got some of the other GM rear ends like a 7.6 or 8.5, or you know, things that might not be as beefy as the 10 or the 12 bolt. So it's just kind of a way to, you know, it's just some cheaper insurance to improve the reliability of it. You know, that's pretty much why I purchased it. So I haven't had any problems out of it, and it's been a pretty good diff cover. So I'm gonna get it installed and go from there. All right, so I've got my got the rear diff cover prepared. I got the new load studs in. I got everything cleaned up. So I scraped the old RTV off from around there, the sealant. So I got these enough so I can slowly crank them down. So basically when I put this on, it's not gonna touch. The load studs are not gonna touch. So they should be back far enough where they won't touch the bearing caps, because I'm supposed to precisely, like after I get it torqued down, I'm supposed to precisely put 10 foot-pounds of torque on them after I torque all the cover bolts. And for the bottom drain plug, I cleaned that up, and I just put just a little bit of RTV around there. You can also use thread sealer. Either one will work. So I got the grease out. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do with that in a second. Basically, I'm gonna use that for the gasket on the surface that goes against the rear end. So I'm gonna show you guys what that's gonna help me do. All right, so I'm out here about to pull the old diff cover off. So basically, I just had this cover temporarily installed so I can paint the rear end and everything like that. So you see those Wilwood disc brakes over there. So I just gotta finish. So basically, this is the brake line I'm trying to make up from here to the top of the housing. But as you can see, from yesterday, I want to say, I was out here last. I forgot what I was doing to this thing yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. But anyway, you can see like up here, like a dirt doddle's nest. So as I was blowing right here, because of course I just put a few bolts in there just to secure it. But as I was blowing, a little baby yellow jacket flew out of there. So I'm just trying to make sure this right here is cleaned up, make sure nothing's trying to make a hole off in here. And this right here is just recent. So we're trying to make a hole off in here, or make a home in here. So I got that all cleaned out. That must be a deep hole, because and this was just pretty much within the last 24 hours. Alright, so I got that cleaned up. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this cover off And then I'm gonna start getting ready to put this one on. Alright, so I'm not sure how yellow jackets get made, but my assessment is they were trying to make some little yellow jackets, maybe some little yellow jacket eggs or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they chose my differential, one of the holes in my diff, to do it, but that's what we had. And there's looks like one right there trying to get me. Alright, so I guess that makes for a little nighttime excitement, but hopefully nothing attacks me while I'm up under here. Alright, so here's my gasket right here. So what I did with the grease, this right here is kind of like an old school trick. I just put a little bit of like pretty much a light coat of grease around the back side of the gasket. So this is going to go to the mating surface. So this right here is basically it's going to kind of help it stick to the diff. Alright, so basically that right there, so I got the gasket in place and you see it's not moving. It's pretty much like kind of sticking in place. And then as you torque it, you may see it kind of just squeeze out just a little bit. And if you see it at an even, basically kind of coming out at evenly, that means you got a good torque. Basically it's like it's evenly torqued. So basically what I'm doing, I put the cover on, I'm going to torque those bolts to 25 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern. That's what the repair instructions recommend. So so these right here, the bearing caps, that's what those load studs are going to kind of, they're going to go there and kind of put even pressure against these both of these bearing caps. So that's going to kind of improve the reliability of the rear end. So as you can see, as I kind of snug the cover down, you see a little bit of the grease kind of ooze out in a couple different places. So I just put a light coat on there anyway. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go through and torque all the bolts to 25 Newton meters. So I got this thing torqued to 25 foot-pounds, and I normally double and triple check torque, so I know it's all evenly torqued. It's good to go. The areas where a little bit of grease squeezed out, I just kind of just lightly just wipe it away. So as I mentioned, you know, that's like an old school trick for just putting on gaskets. It works for transmission gaskets, like if you're under the car. They kind of keep them stuck in place. Just put a light coat of grease on there. So it works for transmission gaskets, diff covers, and stuff like that. So that kind of helps you kind of keep it in place. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna slowly turn these in. So I got a ratchet and I also got a wrench. So basically just slowly just turn them in until they bottom out, and then they're gonna get torqued to 10 foot-pounds. So basically, I just kind of let them go until they're even. So I'm going to do it till it gets snug. Alright, so right now it can't go any further, so I'm just gonna back off just a little bit. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. And then I'm gonna back off. And then I'm gonna set this torque wrench right here. So, good thing about this gear wrench, it's a 120 tooth gear wrench torque wrench that I got off one of the tool trucks at my job. But nice thing I like about this bad boy is it can go down to 10 Newton meters. Right now it's set at 25, so I'm putting it. All right, so that's at 10 foot-pounds. And I said nuts, but those are actually the load studs. So that's what I'm torquing to the 10 foot-pounds. So I actually got to get my socket ready. So on this particular one, this is, I think it's a 1/4 inch. It's a 1/4 inch Allen socket. So I'm just gonna snug it. That way it's even. There we go. It just clicks. And on this side, do the same thing. So they say make sure you don't over torque them. All right, so the last step to getting this diff cover installed is they want you to apply just a little bit of RTV or silicone or whatever you got to the basically around here. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and put it around there, show you guys what it looked like before you put these nuts on there. So these right here are the jam nuts. Alright, so you just put a little bit of silicone around the load studs, just like that there. And then you put your jam nuts on. And once these get on, those are going to get torqued to 10 foot-pounds. Alright, so that's a 3/4 socket for this bolt. Yeah. There you go. It's as simple as that there. So that's all it takes to installing one of these style diff covers on your 10-bolt rear end. So the next step will be to fill it with diff fluid. Alright guys, so I did track down the part number to that rear diff cover that I have. So you see the price right there. But this one actually says that it's on back order. They don't even have it in stock right now. But that's the exact same thing that happened to me. I'm gonna explain in a minute. But like I mentioned, I've had mine for about maybe a little over 2.5 years. I think I got it like maybe the Christmas of I want to say it was 2021, something like that. The end of the year, they have, you know, they normally have like a sale where it's a few dollars off, something like that. I think that's when I ordered it. But that's the part number right there, SME-8510-300. So but pretty much when I ordered it, because I wanted the one that says Summit. Now to be honest with you, I want to say that this one is pretty much the same, or is made by the same manufacturer or the same people who make the trick flow. Because you know Summit actually owns trick flow, so they make a lot of cylinder heads and stuff like that. They got a diff cover also, and then there's also a plain one too. So but it says July 15th. Let me see if they got the trick flow one. I was just on here, so I'll check on that one in a second, see if they got the trick flow. Oh, actually this is the trick flow right here. It looks like it's almost the same part number, except it says TFS instead of SME, but they look pretty much identical. When I was back when I was doing research, somebody mentioned that they were pretty much the same, or whoever makes one makes the other one. So They all have a very similar back order date as well. But pretty much what happened to me, I ordered, man, my bug zapper up there is getting all the action. I just put that thing out here maybe a couple days ago. But, which is kind of crazy because at nighttime, especially in the springtime, all the bugs and stuff and all the little flies and gnats start flying in the garage, and got something to kind of take care of them now. But so when I ordered my Diff cover, it was on back order, but I want to say like once they came back in stock, like I got it like 2 weeks later, like 2 or 2.5 weeks later. So, but there are a bunch of similar covers to that one out there. Like Proform makes a lot of them. They make one called the Perfect Launch and stuff like that. So it's if you're just looking for something that does they have the load studs and basically, you know, something to support the bearings of the Diff. All right, as far as the I mentioned, like some people they prefer to use the gasket maker on the Diff cover, and some people prefer to use the gasket. I mean, it really don't matter to me. I've had pretty decent luck doing both of them. Usually at work we'll use this stuff right here on the BMW rear diffs, and I have used them on a couple like 10 bolt diffs, but I mean, you know, it really doesn't matter. But the main thing, like as far as the gasket, if you use the gasket, you're able to put the car back in service a lot quicker, because basically once you seal it up and torque it down, you can put the diff fluid in it and you're ready to roll. But if you use the gasket maker, you have to wait 24 hours for this stuff to cure. Now I'm not sure if some people, they may, you know, let it sit like maybe 90 minutes or 2 or 3 hours and then put the fluid in it. But I'm not sure. I've never done it like that. So if I use this on a diff, I'm usually, especially for the gasket sealer, I'm usually gonna let it just go ahead and cure for the 24 hours, then come back and put my fluid in. But I would put the fluid in it, but it's really no rush, because I'm still, but you know, basically I'm kind of still in the middle of doing other stuff. So I'm gonna show you guys the fluid that I do got for it though. All right, here we go. So we got more goodies on the table. This right here is the tool that I'm gonna be using right here to get the diff fluid in there. This will be my first time using this particular one. This is right here, brand new in the box. So it's from EWK. I've got some other tools from them at work, but this right here is the 500 milliliter. So that's pretty much just a little over a quart. So that's what this bottle is right here. So this right here is a little less than 1,000. So this right here could do 500. So that means that basically, if I pull it in here, it's like it works as a pump and it's like a syringe and a pump. So you can suck it in and push it out. So that should work out pretty handy. I'm gonna get that out of the box in a little bit, show you guys what it looks like. But so you see I got my diff fluid. This stuff right here has the oh, there we go, right there. Contains limited slip additive. So got the limited slip additive in there. So that's gonna be good. It's a high performance on there, but a lot of the car, you know, some people, they want to run the synthetic. I guess, you know, that's cool, but I pretty much just stick to what the instructions say. So you can run either some 75/90 or some 80/90, but it says run the conventional to stay away from the synthetic. I guess that helps the limited slip. I think it I don't know if it cuts down on the chattering or something. I don't know. It's something I read, but per the instructions for the gear that I got in there, they say just run some plain old like 75/90 or 80/90. So that's what I got. So that's the diff fluid. Got the limited slip in there. That's not enough limited slip in the bottle. I got some right here. So if it's not enough in those diff bottles, I can always add a little bit of this AC Delco additive right here. So I'm just gonna leave that up there for right now. All right, so there it goes right there. So this one I'm gonna be using to put the diff fluid in. This is a lot bigger than the one I got at work. The one I got at work, I think is made by Mighty Vac, but it's a 250 milliliter, which is basically half the size of this. And you can also see that you get some new seals and a variety of stuff to put it in with. So I can't wait to try this out to see how it works. So for one, I ordered it basically to have one at the house, so I don't have to, like, you know, be bringing the one I got from work back and forth. Another cool thing about this one, it's twice the size, it's bigger. So basically taking, I want to say to put these bottles in, it will probably take, like, I want to say like 8 or 9 times with the smaller one to suck it out. So this one right here, I want to say that diff takes about 2.5 liters of this stuff. Not quite 3. It's about somewhere between 2.5, 2 3/4, something like that. But basically, every time, basically filling this up twice should do 1 bottle. So I say 2, 4, maybe about 5 times, you know, which is a lot better than 8 or 8.5. So with the other one, so I'll be able to kind of get it knocked out a lot quicker. Because if you ever filled one of these solid axle diffs, one that's not like independent suspension, like you got like a Nissan or a BMW, something like that, they probably maybe take like 1 jug, like 1 liter, no more than 1.5 liters, depending on the application. So, but a solid axle rear that's on a lot of cars and trucks, you're gonna be sitting there with something smaller. You're gonna really be pumping, sucking it out of the bottle, pumping it in. You're gonna be sitting there for a minute doing that, because I've done it before, so I know. So I can't wait to try this out, see if that's gonna make my life a little easier. And you can probably use something like this to fill manual transmissions and stuff like that too, or any transmission that's got the drain plug on the bottom. But that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for the day. But basically, I just decided to go ahead and put the rear diff cover on. So I was working on the brake lines, so I'm just waiting. I'm waiting another tool to come in so I can finish those up. So that just goes to show that, you know, when you're working on a project, if it's something else that you can do while you're waiting on the tool or something else, you can go ahead and knock that out. So I decided to go ahead and put that rear diff cover in, get it sealed up and everything like that. So you can always do something to move your project forward while you're waiting on parts and tools or whatever. But I would have went on ahead and try to fill it up with diff fluid, because, you know, I have the gasket back there. The only RTV sealing I got is around the load studs and the drain plug, just a little bit around the threads. But, you know, I'm not in a hurry. I'm not about to put this thing on the road. It's probably gonna be like another week or so before I do that. So I can wait another day or so before I put the fluid in there. But that is the next step, putting the fluid in. And I'm gonna finish the brake lines up, and I'll show you guys in that video what I end up working out with those. And then I still gotta do the parking brake cable, but before that, I'm gonna do the proportion valve. So thank you guys for checking out Cool Fred's Garage. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Until next time, take it easy.